Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session on making suggestions. It's time for us to begin our lesson, so when you're ready, come on into the Hangout. Please join me here. We've got some great activities planned, and you're sure to get some vocabulary that will help you to be able to make effective suggestions. You'll see when it's appropriate to make suggestions. You'll have dialogues with your classmates. So come on into the Hangout. We'd love to have you participate. All right, good. So I see that David has joined us. Hello, David. How are you doing today?
Hi, teacher Carissa. I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine today. Thank you. It's great to have you here in class with me today.
It's nice to see you again.
Good. Okay, good. And we also have Michael. Hello, Michael. How are you doing today?
Hey Chris, I'm great. How are you?
So far, so good.
Where are you from? I didn't ask last time.
Okay. I'm originally from the United States. I'm from the state of Ohio.
Okay.
Have you heard of Ohio?
Sure, I've heard. It's in eastern part, like in the north.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the northeastern part. Some
It's
people say the
somewhere the
Midwest.
Midwest.
Some people would say the Midwest. It's
Why
not
that?
because it's not so far east. Um, it's getting toward the middle of the state, so that's why some people say that we
Oh,
live in the Midwest. Mhm.
okay. I thought it's like near New York, something there is in those parts, like Boston,
Well,
Massachusetts.
to give you an idea, if you drove from, let's say, Southern Ohio, if you drove from Southern Ohio
Uh-huh.
to New York, it would take you 12 hours
Not
by
so much.
car.
Not so much. 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty distance, especially if you're driving alone. If you have some company driving, then it's not so bad. Or if you drive at night, it's not so bad. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's about 12 hours away. It's about maybe a 2-hour flight away.
And did you move somewhere in another place?
Yes, I currently live in Central America. I live in Costa Rica.
Oh, and why did you move?
Well, I came here to volunteer. I do a volunteer Bible education work here. I was
Oh,
helping first with the deaf, and then I started to improve my Spanish, and now I'm learning a native Indian language called Nalvere.
okay. Where do you like
Yeah.
more in Ohio? Did you like to live or here in Costa Rica?
Well, I actually like both. There's some advantages to living here in Costa Rica.
Uh-huh.
The cost of living is a bit
Cheaper.
cheaper. It's a bit
Mhm.
cheaper here in Costa Rica. So I can work less and devote more time to what I really like to do. And but in the States, you learn how to live, and I'm from the States, so you learn how to live a simple life. If that's what you want.
What do you mean by that? You learn how to live a simple life.
Well, in any place, and when you live in a bigger country,
Uh-huh.
you there's lots of I'll say luxuries. There's lots of things that that you can do that you could spend lots of money on because
Uh-huh.
there's such variety. Even if you just talk about food and restaurants, there's so much variety that you can end up spending lots and lots of money.
Uh-huh.
But that means also that you have to work a lot more.
Yep.
So it doesn't leave very much time for family. It doesn't leave much time for other things either. So you just kind of learn to live the kind of life that you want in order to be able to accomplish your priorities. So,
Okay.
well, good. Well, thank you,
Thanks for
Michael.
sharing.
Appreciate you asking a few questions. That way, your other
Yep.
classmates too can get to know a little bit more about me as their teacher.
Yep.
Great. All right, very good. Well, in the meantime, a few other students have joined us, so I'd like to welcome them to class as well. Luis Antonio, welcome to class. How are you doing today?
Hi, Carissa. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good. You're welcome. It's great to have you back in class today.
It's my pleasure.
Well, good. We've got some activities, and I'm looking forward to having your participation as well today.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. We have Aka. Hello, Aka. Welcome to class again. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing just fine today. It's good to get to see some familiar faces here in class today. And it's nice because there's so many things that you can learn about a new language. So even if we met every day, I think it would still take me a long time to explain all of the things that you want to know about English. So thanks for coming back again today. We're going to practice some really good information today. So let me just welcome your other classmate, and then we'll go ahead and get right into our lesson. Andre, hello, and how are you today, Andre?
Hello, Carissa. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Andres. So, Andre, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Russia. I live in Moscow right now. What can I say? I'm learning English here for 1 year, maybe about 1 year.
Okay.
Oh, it's my first time in your class. Yes.
Yes, yes. Well, good. Well, it's nice to meet you, Andre. And as you
Nice to
heard
meet
me,
you too.
yeah, as you heard me say before, a few things about myself. So good. As you start to look out for my classes, you'll learn more and more about my teaching style and a little bit more about me as a person. So, well, welcome to class. Hopefully, we can do some activities and you'll learn some things that will help you to reach your language goals for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, well, let's get right into our information. As you could see today, we are going to talk about making suggestions. Okay, now I'm sure that you have that you know some things about making suggestions in English. So I'm going to start off with a question just to get us warmed up, and it will help me to see what you know, and it'll give me a language base for where you are right now, at least on this subject. Okay, so here's my question, and I'd like you to each take a turn and tell me your thoughts, okay? So, when do we make suggestions? All right. So let's talk about that a little bit. When do we make suggestions? Aka, can we start with you?
Yeah, if the person asks something, the kind of advice, maybe I would suggest some advice to that person.
All right. So when someone asks for advice.
Mm-hmm. I ask for the advice, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Or when I need some advice, or when we need some advice, let's say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. All right, Michael. In what other circumstances is it appropriate to make suggestions?
Well, when someone needs advice and when you see, for example, that someone could do something better, for example, he or she does something and you could help them with that. Like they don't ask the advice, but you can help them, kind of.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. So to help. So when you see that someone could do something better. Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Excellent job. All right, and let's ask Andre. Andre, what do you think?
I don't know. If someone wants to recommend something, but maybe it's included in Michael's version. It's like when you recommend something to do something, but it could be, for example, if you want to improve someone's behavior, or maybe I
Okay,
don't know.
so and to help improve someone's behavior. Okay. Excellent, excellent job. Okay, now this was good because we got a synonym of a suggestion, which is a recommendation. That was good. Thank you, Andre. All right, let's see. Luis Antonio, what other ideas do you have?
When you would like someone else watch a good film that you have watched, a good book you have read, or a good restaurant where you have eaten a delicious food.
Good. Okay, good. Excellent job. Okay, and then David, what other ideas do you have?
Yeah, teacher, for example, when you want an opinion for something, I mean, for example, you want to go to a party, but you are not sure about your clothes or your wear. You ask, should I dress maybe more formal? Should I dress more informal? This shirt is look good on me, or something like that.
Yes, good, good. Guys, those are some really good situations, okay? Now, in your comments, this helps me to see in which situations you may need to make suggestions. Okay, so for example, if you work at a company, okay, and you're in a business meeting and they're brainstorming, they're talking about ideas to help expand the company or to ways to promote a product, okay, you could offer your suggestion. Or if something needs to be improved, as you were mentioning before. Okay, or if something isn't being done. Okay, if something isn't being done, you may make a suggestion. Okay, so we've got some wins when we can make suggestions. Now let's talk about different ways to make suggestions. Now I'm going to start off with an easy one, and then I'm going to ask you to help me to think of some other ways that you have made suggestions or ways that you have heard others make suggestions. Okay, so let's go with a more direct way, a direct approach. Okay, some people, they tend to just be direct. So you could simply say, I suggest that. Okay, and it depends upon who you're speaking with. For example, if you're speaking to another person, you can say, I suggest that you, and then you say what your suggestion is. Okay, so for example, if in the last example that David gave us about what to wear to a party. Okay, so David, so if I ask you, David, I'm going to a party on Saturday night. What do you suggest that I wear? What could you tell me?
Okay, that depends on you, know, but maybe I suggest that wear more informal clothes, maybe like a jean or a shirt, and not high heels, but because maybe you want to dance. Yeah, nice,
Okay.
nice clothes.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, in your suggestion, you want to make sure that you say who, okay, because I think you said I suggest where. Okay, so make sure that you're putting the subject in. So I suggest that you wear, I suggest that we wear, etc., depending upon who you're referring to. Good, good, excellent job. Okay, so this is a direct suggestion. Okay, let's maybe try to think of a different example. Okay, Aka, Okay, I need to buy a new car, Akka. What kind of, okay, so for my lifestyle, I need a car that has four-wheel drive, that has good gas mileage, and doesn't cost a lot of money. Okay. What kind of car would you suggest that I buy?
Kind of eco car.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a good miles and kind of ecological friendly and economic friendly too. Economically friendly too. So yeah, that's good.
Good. So
Yeah.
eco-friendly and economically friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, excellent suggestion. Okay, so sometimes in order to make a good suggestion, you need information. Okay, so you see that I gave Akka some details about what I needed, and then he's able to make a good suggestion. Okay, excellent job. Excellent job. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, look at the sentence structure just one more time, because I want to make sure that you know how to the correct sentence structure. Okay, first it says you have your subject. I suggest, because I am the one that's making a suggestion. Okay, so now let's say that you were listening into what Akka just told me. Okay, okay, let's see, Andre, what kind of car did Akka suggest that I buy?
Akka suggested that you buy an eco car, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very good.
I
Very
think
good.
it's what is an eco car? It's like battery cars, or what is
Mm-hmm. Akka, please tell us more about eco cars.
Yes, I think I'm not sure whether it is a for kind of English or not, but it is called eco car. My car called eco car type. Like it has a good mile, you know, per liter of the gas, so you can save your money. And it's also kind of engine reduces less reduces chemical product from that engine. These cars are called eco car here.
like a hybrid car? So when you have a battery and fuel.
A hybrid car is a one type of eco car, yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, so Akka, check the chat box for me. All right, here's a good sentence that you could use. Okay, it gets good gas mileage to the
Mileage.
gallon.
Yeah, mileage to the gallon, yes.
Right, mileage to the gallon. Very good. Excellent job. Good. So you see, you can conjugate it. Okay, so Akka suggested that you. Okay, so those are different ways that you can change the sentence to meet your needs. Good. All right, so I suggest that you is one. Okay. Also, if you are in a situation, for example, a business meeting, and you may not have the position or authority to just make a direct suggestion. Okay, here's another way that you can make a suggestion. You could say, may I suggest that? Okay, or I'd like to make a suggestion. Okay, and then you continue with your suggestion. Okay, so you can see these are less direct ways. These are more indirect ways. Okay. Also, if you're at a hotel and you ask the concierge for a good restaurant, okay, so the concierge may say, "May I suggest that?" Okay, and he can give you a way, because your concierge is there to serve. Okay, and may I suggest is more of it's a very polite way, and it shows respect for the person that you are speaking to. And it's rather formal as well. Okay, very good. Okay, so let me hear your ideas. What are some other ways that we can make suggestions? Michael, what other ways have you heard or used to make suggestions?
Well, you'd better.
Okay, very good. Now, who have you heard say you'd better?
What do you mean?
In what circumstances could I say you'd better do X, Y, and Z? Like, who would I be
Well,
speaking to if I said this?
oh, okay, to a friend, to acquaintance, an acquaintance.
Okay, good. So this is an informal. This is an informal way to make a suggestion. Or, okay, so let's go with that, informal at first. Okay, so you could say you'd better. So give me an example, Michael. Tell me something that you would tell a friend that they'd better do.
Okay, so they could say that they would like to move to Canada. I would say you'd better move to US because in Canada is cold.
Okay. Although I think
Does
it's
that make
cold.
sense?
I think it's colder in Canada.
Yeah, it's colder in Canada. I mean, like in
The situation. Yes, but let me show you a different one, and then
Okay.
let's see if we get a little bit closer there. Okay, so say for example, you have an exam.
Uh-huh.
You have an exam at the university in 2 days, and you notice that your friend, your schoolmate, is just partying all the time. Every night, instead of studying, he or she is partying.
Mhm.
What could you tell them?
You'd better learn or you're going to fail the exam.
Good. So you better say, or else you're going to fail or fail. Okay, this is it's a very strong suggestion. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but when you see that someone is not doing what they need to do,
Mhm.
then this could be an appropriate way to make a very strong suggestion. Okay? Or if someone has a higher position than the person that they're speaking to, they
Okay.
could use this type of a suggestion. So a parent may say to their child, you'd better finish your dinner before you have dessert. Or you'd better finish your homework before you watch cartoons or before you watch your favorite show.
But could be between the friends, just friends, like a friend to another friend.
Yes, it could be a friend to another friend, but just understand that this is a stronger suggestion.
Mhm.
Okay, it really just depends on the situation. Okay, because it borderlines telling someone what they need to do, what they should do.
Mhm.
And if you are on the same level, like friends, then
Mhm.
your friend may not appreciate that.
Mhm. Okay.
Because after all, they may say, "Hey, it's my decision. All right,
Okay.
I'll do what I want." So you may try a softer suggestion.
Yep. So it stands after must and have to.
Yes.
By the what? By the strongivity or what?
Yes, by the force or the strength of your
Strength. Yeah.
suggestion. The strength.
Okay.
This is a good one also. You could use it this way. You'd better not. Okay, so if you see that you use this when you see that someone is getting ready to do something that could hurt or harm them.
Mhm.
Okay, so for example, if you see that a friend has been drinking and you see that they're on their way to get into their car to drive. Okay, let's see. Let's ask one of your classmates, David. David, what could you tell your friend in that situation?
Sorry, teacher, what situation? I
Okay,
couldn't hear you.
we're on the suggestion. You'd better not.
But what is the problem with the guy? I couldn't hear you.
Okay, the situation is that a friend has been drinking and they are about to get into their car to drive.
Okay, good problem. Okay, I could say to the guy, oh, for your health, I suggest you that you shouldn't drive when you drink before, because it could be very dangerous and you could die or damage another person with your car.
Okay. All right. Now you used a softer suggestion. Okay. Let's try to use the strong suggestion that's here in the chat box. Okay. Try starting your sentence this way. You'd better not. How could I finish that sentence?
Berlin chat doesn't work for me. Can you
Sorry. Yes, I can do that.
put in Google Chat, please? Okay. You'd better not drive when you drink, because it's very dangerous.
Very
You could
good.
get a ticket also.
Right. Okay, so in that situation, you need a strong suggestion because you really want that person to stop what they're doing because they're going to get hurt. Okay? All right, so let's see. Let's give another example. Luis Antonio, let's say you see a child. They have a set of matches in their hand. You see that they like to play with fire. Okay, what could you tell that child using this strong suggestion, Luis Antonio?
Well, does the children in their hand?
Matches.
Matches, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the grammar structure, but I'm going to try. I would say you'd better not playing with matches. It's very dangerous.
Perfect. Okay, so you better not play with. So this is a very strong suggestion. This is almost equal to saying don't do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's very strong. Okay, now you said that you don't understand this structure. Do you have a question about this structure?
I think you'd is a contraction.
Mm-hmm. You had.
Pronoun and the verb had.
Right.
Yeah. Because had is in past tense, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's no sense.
Yes.
I
but
can't understand this.
Right. Usually had is in the past tense. That's right. But here it can be used as just a simple way of making a suggestion, a very strong suggestion. You'd better not do, or you'd better do. Okay. Don't always think about it in the past tense. Usually it is in the past tense, but here it's actually just used to make a very strong suggestion.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, good, very good, excellent job. All right, let's talk about a few other ways to make some suggestions. Okay, let's talk about should. Okay, since we're talking about different ways to make strong suggestions, starting off. Okay, let's take should as an example. Okay, and let's see. Let's get. We have two Michaels in class. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's have the other Michael, M-I-K-E-L. Michael. Okay. Miguel. Yes, Miguel. Good. Miguel Angel. Yes. Good. Okay. So Miguel Angel, can you please read the sentence regarding should for me?
Yes.
In the chat box.
Should can also be used for making suggestions as a strong advice. Should plus das verb.
Right. Okay. All right. So in this case, this is strong. Okay, it's not as strong as you'd better. Okay, that's pretty direct. Okay, a step down is what you should do. All right, and should suggests something that is right or something that makes sense for you to do. Okay, for example, maybe all of our parents told us that you your okay, it's a suggestion, all right, but it's pretty strong. They're not really giving you options. It's not saying, okay, well, if you want to brush your teeth, you can. No, you should brush your teeth. Okay, it's for your health and it's for our benefit as well because you want your breath to be fresh.
I think it's the word, the same phrase. You should wash your hand before you eat.
Yeah, that's good. That would be a very good suggestion. That's right. Okay, something that's right that you need to do for your health. Okay, very good. Excellent job. Okay, now what if you see that your child, you've made the suggestion, you've said you should brush your teeth after you eat. Okay, and let's see, let's direct this question to Andre. Andre, what if you notice that your child is not brushing their teeth? Okay, what stronger suggestion could you now make?
Maybe you must brush your teeth after you eat.
Good, you must. Okay, all right, but if you want direct action, here's where you should say, you'd better.
You would better. Okay.
Okay, and actually you could even make it even stronger and you could say, you'd better go brush your teeth. Okay, so that's pretty strong, and you can see that it's someone that has more authority speaking to someone with less authority in the home. Okay, you better go brush your teeth right now. It's not something that you would say to a friend. It's really not something that you would say to your spouse. No, you probably wouldn't.
One question, Carissa, one moment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Before you are put the contraction, the had or have, the contraction, the would is the same, no? You, I think, is the same contraction, okay? I don't know the difference when you pronounce you had better or in a contraction, okay? Or you would. What is the difference?
Mm-hmm.
To understand the other people telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you understand the question?
I do. I understand your question. Just remember context, Miguel Angel. Okay, so you tend to understand. You know when someone is giving you a suggestion, right? So if someone says that you had better do something, okay, you know that it's really almost it's borderlining on a command, right? So you'd better go do something. That's pretty clear because of context, and there's no confusion there. Even if you say you should, there's no confusion there, and there's really no contraction. You would better. There's no contraction with would there.
No, I refer would, not should. Would. The contraction would.
There's no contraction here using would. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of an example where you would have like a contraction using would in this particular context. In this context, there wouldn't be a contraction using would.
The contraction would is ID, no?
Yes, that's actually a different type of suggestion. Okay, so for example, you could say I'd go to or let's take it with the studying. Okay, I'd study every night. I'd study every night if I were you. Okay, so that's a different. It's more of an indirect kind of suggestion. Okay, but okay, so you could use it that way. I would study every night if I were you. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm
No, I sorry, Carissa. I am. The question is a contraction. I had, I would. It's the same. But it's only a question because I understand when you are, he had better, for example, or he would in a contraction would and had. This is the
Yes, so
question.
yes, I understand your question, but my answer is still the same. It depends on the context of what you're saying.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so for example, if I tell my son, you'd better brush your teeth, okay, and if his father asks, okay, so what did your mother tell you? She said I'd better brush my teeth. Okay, so it's just in context, and you just know how to answer. Okay,
Okay,
if
okay.
I'm right, so if I'm answering, I'm not going to say use the contraction. Yeah, I won't get confused because one is when I'm making a statement, when I'm making the suggestion, and one is when I'm giving the answer.
Okay, okay. I understand.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you for your question. Thanks so much. All right, very good. Very good. Okay, let's talk about let's talk about a different sentence structure that we can use with suggest. All right, and then I'm going to give us some examples to take a look at as well. All right, so there it is in that chat box, and now let's look at it in a different chat box. Okay, very good. Let's see. Let me go back to Michael. Okay, Michael, can you please read what I have in the chat box?
I suggest gerund verb plus ing, or I suggest you, we, base verb infinitive to. I suggest taking to aspirin a day. I suggest you go home now.
Okay, so there's two forms, okay? We're going to go back to suggest, but this time we're going to use a gerund verb with it. Okay, so I suggest taking. So if I say, Michael, ooh, I have a splitting headache, what suggestion could you make?
I suggest drinking some alcohol.
Would that work?
Well, I don't know, but you should check it out. Yeah.
All right, that's one suggestion. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what Akka says. Akka, if I tell you that I have a headache, what could you suggest? Michael suggests that drinking alcohol. What do you suggest?
I suggest you go to the hospital.
Okay, good. So you use the other form. I suggest you go to the hospital. All right. Okay, that's another one. Okay. Andre, can you give me another suggestion using the gerund form, the ing form?
Yeah, I suggest you walk in the park.
Okay, and so here I'm going to type it here in the chat box for you. Okay, or I suggest, let's say, going for a walk in the. Okay, because you want to say I suggest and then use a verb with the ing ending right afterwards. Okay, that sentence structure. So I suggest going for a walk in the park. Good, now that sounds relaxing. All right, Louise, can you give me another suggestion using the gerund form? I have a headache, Louise. What do you suggest?
I suggest you resting for 2 hours on sofa.
That sounds good. I could go for that. So it's resting. Okay, so here's a way to use it with the gerund form. I suggest rest. That's one way that you can use it with the gerund form. The way that you said is just fine. I suggest that you rest. Okay, that's a different way to say it, but beautiful, beautiful job. Okay, All right, very good. Okay, let's take a look at another way to make a suggestion. Okay, here's you can make a suggestion using another question. Okay, so I'm going to put it in both chat boxes, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's see. Let's get David. David, can you please read what's in the chat box for me this time? Okay, let's check back in with David. David, could you please read what's in the chat box for me?
Yeah, teacher. How about having a pool party? What about watching an old movie?
Okay, good. All right, so you see the construction there. You either say how about or what about, and then you use a verb with a gerund. You use your gerund form right afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so if I say to you, David, what should we do tonight? What suggestion could you make?
Okay. We could go to.
Let's try to use what about or how about to start off.
You ask me or what
No,
was the question?
your answer, the way that you're going to make a suggestion this time is to use what about or how about.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about watching a movie?
Okay, good, good. All right, so this is a way to give someone options, to give a suggestion. It is a question, but you're actually giving an answer. You're actually making a suggestion here. Okay, so let's see. What if I ask you, Luis Antonio? Luis Antonio, I would like to find a good book. What suggestion could you make?
How about bookstore?
Okay. All right. So we need a verb after how about, a gerund verb.
How about looking for a good bookstore?
Good, good. I'm going to type it here. How about looking for a good book in the bookstore?
Yep.
Good. So, okay. Looking for a good book or looking for one in the bookstore. We're at the bookstore. Good. All right, very good. Okay, so guys, I gave you a few ways to make suggestions. Now, I'm hearing that you're saying you could. That's true. Okay, so you could start off by saying you could try. Okay, you could also say you might try. Okay. All right, so those are some different ways. Now, let's test out what we've learned so far. Okay, let's try a brief dialogue, and then we'll try to identify the different ways that you see that people made suggestions or the participants made suggestions. Okay, let me give you the dialogue in the chat box. Just give me a second. All right, very good. So let's have Miguel Angel. Okay, Miguel Angel, I'd like for you to read person A. Okay, and then let's have Andre. Andre, could you please read person B?
Okay. Dialogue. A. This part is very boring.
Let's go.
What do you want to go?
We could go bowling.
No, let's not go bowling. Why don't we go listen to music instead?
That's a great idea. How about looking online places that have live music tonight?
Okay, I suggest we Google it. That's a fast way to find information.
Good, guys. Pretty good job here with your reading. Okay, there's just one correction that I need to make in the last B part. It says, how about looking online? And the one word that's missing is for places. Okay, I want to try the dialogue just one more time. Okay, this time for person A, I'm going to ask Michael to read person A, and then I'll have Aka read person B. Okay, let's try it, guys. Michael and Aka.
This party is very boring.
Let's go.
Where do you want to go?
We could go bowling.
No, let's not go bowling. Why don't we go listen to music instead?
That's a great idea. How about looking online places that have live music tonight?
Okay, I suggest we Google it. That's a fast way to find information.
Good. Guys, your pronunciation was excellent. Excellent job. Okay, so here you could see several different ways to make suggestions. Okay, let's see. Michael, can you tell me some of the different ways that suggestions were made here in the dialogue?
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's. This is
Very-
one. We could.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we? And how about? And I suggest Google it. That's all. I don't see any others.
Yes, very good. Well, there is one more, and that is let's
What?
not.
Oh, but that's like let's go, kind of
Yeah.
the same. I mean, let's is the root part.
Yeah.
of the suggestion.
Very good. But this is it's a negative suggestion.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, very good. Excellent. So we really hadn't talked about let's, okay, but we used let's when we were including ourselves in the suggestion. Okay, so what you're saying is let's is let us. Okay, so let us, and that contraction is let's. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so guys, those are different ways that you can make suggestions. And you see, even within the same conversation, you can use variety. Okay? All right, let's try out a couple of sentences to just make sure that we understand. Okay, and let's see, Ahmad has joined us. Hello, Ahmad, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you, Carissa?
I'm doing just fine, Ahmad. Great to have you here in class.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, good. So let's go ahead and try out a few sentences, and let's just make sure that we get it. Okay. All right, so here's our first sentence, and our first sentence is going to be for Luis Antonio. All right, Luis Antonio, can you read sentence 10 and tell us the correct answer?
Let's blank early tomorrow morning. Let's leaving early tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. Let's try a different answer. Okay, letter A is not the right one, so let's try a different one.
Infinitive. Let's leave. Yeah.
Okay, good.
See?
So you're going to use an infinitive without the word to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like to call it just a base verb. Okay, so let's leave early tomorrow morning. Okay, so when you use the verb that follows is just, you could say an infinitive without the word to, or just the base verb. So let's go, let's leave, let's eat. Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Thanks, Luis Antonio. All right, we're going to try a different example. Okay, and let's see. Let's have Andre. Andre, please, try number 9.
Okay. I suggest you writing the pros and cons of moving out of the state.
Okay, so choose letter A. Okay, all right. No, not letter A. Try a different answer. Do you think it's B or do you think it's C?
Maybe I suggest you to write. No, I suggest you write down the pros and cons of moving out of state.
Good. Okay, I'm just typing it here.
But why can't we use the? I suggest you writing down the pros and cons.
Okay. All right. So let's look again at suggest. Okay. So when you say I suggest, okay, if you want to use the gerund form, don't put down you don't use you. Okay. You should simply say I suggest writing down. Okay. But
The teacher is lost. Your connection, I think, is bad.
He will back in seconds.
Yes, I suppose.
Yeah. Because I was thinking probably there is something wrong with my connection. But I said,
No.
let me stay here.
Is your
Yeah,
connection?
my connection is not good as well, but I was still here. He's back.
okay. All right, very good. So let's try number 8. Now, David, I'm sorry if you said it. I wasn't able to hear you. Could you try number 8 again for me?
Number 8, I can see you. Oh, wait a minute, teacher, sorry.
The chat box is loading. There you go.
My chat, I rejoined, so I can see the chat.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Can you
All right,
please
so I
again?
typed it
Sorry.
again and okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see now, teacher. Thank you.
Okay.
How blank to Japan for our next family vacation? How about going to Japan for our next family vacation?
Yes, good. Very good. Okay, so excellent job, guys. Okay, let's keep going because I want to give everybody a chance to take a question. All right, and with each question, just make sure that you understand. If you don't understand, please go ahead and make sure that you're asking questions. Okay, very good. Let's have Ahmad. Ahmad, can you take number 7 for me?
Is it 8? 7, okay, yeah. What blank my father for the money? What about asking my father for the money?
Right, very good. Let's see, so that would be letter A. What about asking? Very good. Excellent job, guys. Beautiful. All right, so the next one will be for Miguel Angel. Okay, Miguel Angel, this one is for you. Number 6, please.
Okay, let's online for a reasonable priced hotel. Let's look. Let's looking online for a reasonable price hotel.
Okay, so you feel like it's letter A. Okay, let's try a different answer. Okay, remember what type of verb goes after let's. Not the gerund form, but what form do we need there? Try that again.
Let's to look. Or let's look. Let's look.
Okay, all right, sounds like you have a doubt there. Let's get some help from one of your classmates. Okay, let's see. Michael, can you help us out there? Which one is the correct one?
Let's look online. Well, for me, it sounds good. Look.
Okay, all
If I
right.
say
So
let's look, it's not correct.
right. Okay, so remember, let's put the rule back. When you use let's, you just use your base verb afterwards. Okay, or I could say my infinitive verb without to. Okay, so in this case, our answer would be let's look. Okay, so just remember, base verb. With let's, you need a base verb. Okay, Miguel Angel, do you understand?
Yes, Carissa, I understand.
Good, good. I just want to make sure. Very good. All right, and we're going to try.
Let's look. It's the correct.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, very good. Okay, Michael, this is actually your question, number 5. Thanks for your help on the last one, but yours is number 5. Michael?
The Grand Canyon, while we are in the US, we could visit, we couldn't visit, must have visited, we are in US. So, we could.
Okay, so why did you choose letter A? It is correct, but why did you choose letter A?
Because letter C we cannot choose because they still are in US. So letter C is not correct. Must have visited. If they said like we must visited the Grand Canyon while we were in the US, that could be it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good.
And
very good.
couldn't visit as well because they are there still in the US.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
good.
Should be in the past as well. Like we couldn't visit the Grand Canyon while we were in the US.
Very good. Great explanation. That's right. Okay, guys. Well, our time is just about up for our lesson for today. All right. So let's just briefly review the ways that we can make suggestions. Okay. I'm going to ask each of you for one. Okay. Ahmad, what is one way that I can make a suggestion?
Okay, like what about, then gerund.
Very good. Excellent job. What about and then gerund? Okay. Aka, what is another way to make a suggestion?
I want to know is there a meaning difference between how about and what about?
No, there's not. You can use it with a what question and you can use it with a how question, but they mean the same thing.
Okay, how about?
Okay, good. How about? Okay, Andre, what's another way to make a suggestion?
I suggest you.
Good. Excellent.
Uh-huh. Verb.
Good. There you go. David, what's another way to make a suggestion?
Yes, guys. For a strong suggestion, you can use we, you would better not.
Good. Very good. Excellent job. Michael, what's another way to make a suggestion?
Well, my favorite one is you'd better.
All right, very good. Miguel Angel, what's another way to make a suggestion?
I suggest him to teach more class.
Good. I suggest you teach more classes. All right, I'll take your suggestion on that. Actually, I have another class next hour. All right, very good. Well, guys, very good. Thanks for coming to class. Thanks for your participation. Again, if you'd like to take a private lesson, please go ahead and book it. And otherwise, look out for my future classes. Have a great afternoon, guys. See you soon.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.